bitch is shaking the table.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Shaking the Table. I know y'all miss me. I know y'all miss me. It's been 2 weeks and I haven't had time to create. Let me stop lying. I have had time to create things. I just, for the past 2 weeks, I've been dealing with a lot and I felt overworked. I felt overwhelmed. And y'all know, because I told y'all this in other episodes, when I get overwhelmed, I don't want to talk to nobody. I'm like a hermit crab, like, leave me alone. So all the episodes that I thought I was going to record, I either trashed them or I recorded them and I didn't want to release them because I just didn't feel what it's saying. And sometimes, like, if you guys are creators, you understand this too. Like, if you're recording something or if you're making some kind of art and it just doesn't fit with your mood at the present moment, you're like, I think I'm gonna hold off. So anyway, I'm back and I'm better, y'all. And one of the ways that I wanted to do, like, this episode was I wanted to do, like, a mailbag type thing. I think that's what it's called, where people submit questions and stuff that they may have, and I was going to answer them. Just going over the questions, let me just point this out. Some of y'all are not just going to jail. You are going to prison on a life sentence, because some of these questions are so wild that I'm not even going to answer them on air because I just ask that y'all respect me. And it's clear that y'all don't. So, yeah, let's get right into it. I'm ready to get mixy. Please don't judge me. And if you judge me, it's fine because all these are anonymous, but y'all talk about me anyway. So honestly, I'm not even going to say please don't judge me because I really don't care. Clearly, because I'm doing this episode. Anyway, so let's get started on the questions. Okay, y'all. So the very first question on here is, what drives you to be your true self every day? Honestly, I think I just got fed up. Like, I think that at some point you get exhausted from trying to be this really put together person, the person that everyone thinks has it all, the person that everyone thinks, like, I don't want to say perfect because I don't think that people think of me as perfect, but I think that people see, like, the way that I carry myself is very, like, positive and upbeat. People see that and they think that that means I have my life together. And so I try to show y'all that I'm not perfect. I don't have everything together. I don't have all the answers. I'm struggling. I do dumb shit every day. I make poor decisions, like, money-wise, life-wise. Like, I make mistakes. I think that's the point of it, like, realizing that I make mistakes and I'm not this person that everyone thinks has it together. And I think that's just because, like, I've seen people who I've grown up with, or people that I'm friends with, or people that in my family that I had, like, this imposter syndrome around. And that basically means, like, you feel like you don't belong with them because you aren't as, quote unquote, put together, or you aren't as, quote unquote, perfect as you think they are. And so you feel out of place. A lot of those people that I had that imposter syndrome around, and I'm probably not even doing it justice with the explanation, but I learned that they also don't have it together. So what drives me to be my true self is to honestly realize that I'm not perfect. No one is. And people appreciate my authenticity, just like people love Cardi B because she went from being a stripper to being at the freaking Met Gala and making all this money, and now being able to provide for people just off of her personality and just off of, like, the energy that she brings into rooms. So I see people like that and I'm inspired by that, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna be myself and I'm gonna see how far it gets me. So I hope that answers your question. All right, next one. What's some advice you could give to someone who's struggling with their self-worth? This was kind of hard though, because I feel like it's in the description, like, self-worth has to come from you. So I can't necessarily tell you how to get better with struggling with your self-worth, because, like, you have to feel that internally. You have to wake up and realize that you are that bitch. And if you're a man, what do men say? Because I don't want to say the N-word, because, like, you could be white and you could have asked this question. But I think for me, I guess I'll phrase it as if how I got to that point. Honestly, it took me a while. Like, I still struggle with self-worth, and I still struggle with, like, feeling insecure or feeling like I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not funny enough. I'm not, like, so many things. But And honestly, Instagram intensifies that struggle, right? Because you see women who are more beautiful than you, who waist is more snatched, who got a bigger butt, who got nicer teeth, who have long hair. Like, you just see so many things online that you're like, wow, I wish I had that. And so I guess it's harder now for people our age, like millennials or whatever you want to call us, that struggle with self-worth, because you see people online that look like, you know, the baddest bitches you've ever seen in your life. But for me, I just say that there's nobody like me. Like, no matter what, no one's going to be like Lauren. I don't know. I feel like I'm not doing this question justice because I really don't know. Like, one day I deadass went to the mirror and I was like, you're a bad bitch. I looked at myself naked and I was like, girl, you are doing it. Whatever it is, you are doing that. Like, sometimes you just got to put on swimsuits that, like, especially if you lost weight, like, you just got to put on swimsuits and just walk around your apartment. Like, just walk around naked. Just make some French toast in your birthday suit, and it'll make you feel really good about yourself, because honestly, you just have to be more comfortable with your body. You have to be comfortable with being you and showing that unique magic every day. I think that's where I get my self-worth from, me knowing that I'm uniquely myself and I'm the baddest bitch, period. And you don't have to agree with me, and that's fine, because your nigga probably does. It's like, sorry, that's not funny. I'm sorry. All right. I don't know how to answer that question. If you ask me that question, DM me. We can have like a whole like FaceTime session or whatever. I really don't know how to answer that, because self-worth has to come from you. If you don't feel like you're the baddest bitch in the room, then it's nothing that anybody else could say to you. Somebody look at Beyonce. Her husband could tell her that she's the baddest bitch on the planet. Each of us could tell her that she's the baddest bitch on the planet. But if she internally does not feel like the baddest bitch on the planet, it's nothing that we can do. It's nothing that anyone else can give you. No outside validation that anyone else can give you that can make you feel good about yourself if you don't feel good about yourself from the jump. Does that make sense? I'm asking y'all like y'all can answer back. But somebody tell me on Twitter if that makes sense. The next question. Oh, this one's more light. What's the best brunch place you've ever been to? I will honestly have to say Miss Shirley's. Miss Shirley's got the best brunch. Honestly, I came from Miss Shirley's and then I went straight to work. Y'all, I was falling asleep at my desk. It was embarrassing. So if you in the Baltimore area, pull up to Miss Shirley's. If you're in the DC area, my favorite brunch probably would have been, honestly, I like Park Brunch. A lot of people say that they don't like Park Brunch for whatever reason, but Park Brunch is lit. Like, that had me texting people at 2 p.m. talking about where you at. So if you're in the DC area, go to Park. If you're in Baltimore, go to Miss Shirley's. Thank you. Next. Someone said, if you can become siblings with any celebrity, who would you choose and why? Bitch, Beyonce. I want to be Solange so bad. Like, I know some people was talking shit on Twitter talking about, Solange will never be Beyonce, blah, blah, blah. Solange don't gotta be Beyonce. Solange is that girl. I want to be Solange. I want y'all to give me a name, like, that's as unique as Beyonce or like Solange, and I would be that. Matter of fact, I would love to be Solange's sister. Like, I would choose them just because I think their aura, their spirit, they stay true to themselves. Their country is hell. Texas is hell. And I love that. First of all, I love people from the South, period, because they just don't give a fuck. I don't know how I describe it. They're so nice, but shit can get ratchet real quick. I love people like that from the South. So I would definitely be siblings to them just to grow up in Texas and just to like the fact that they're fucking rich and they're literally so beautiful and so amazing. Also, I want to be siblings with Solange and Beyonce just because, like, if my man do something shady or one of my friends try to play me, I want Solange to whip their ass in an elevator. And I want everybody to see that shit because TMZ leaked it. I feel like nobody would fuck with me from that point on. I would be that girl. I'm already that girl, but I'm just broke. Let me get rich. I promise y'all it's going down. So this next question, I don't even know what they was trying to say, but I know the person that asked this because she told me. So she writes, so why men ain't shit? Y'all all got kids. Can't you get it together? Nope. Cool. So baby girl, I don't know what type of men that you are messing with. I don't know what man done hurt you, but please FaceTime me after this episode drops because I need to figure out why you would submit a question that's not really a question. Like, you really just went on some Janae Aiko, like, freestyle type shit in my Curious Cat, and I want you to know that this behavior is unacceptable. I can't answer why men ain't shit. I think you need to call God. I think that we need to put God on three-way Matter of fact, let me dial a number that I think might be God, and then we can just get to it, because there's no way that I don't know. I think they were born that way. Maybe they're born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. I don't know why men ain't shit, y'all. Honestly, y'all say all men ain't shit. It's not all men. Yes, it is. I'm so sorry to say. Yes, it is, guys. Like, every man has like at least 20% of ain't shitness in it. It's just some of y'all have more than others, and then some of y'all wait 15 years to show the woman that you ain't shit, and then some of y'all, they don't find out until after you die, and then you come back to life and you see that they dating your best friend or some shit. Like, men are ain't shit across the board, but it's just when you find out. So that didn't really answer her question, but she needs God to answer this question. So, baby girl, I'm sorry. I'm just going to move on. Anyway, next question is, how long do you wait to have sex with someone you're dating? Honestly, and I don't mean to say this in a way that this is dismissive of the question, but I hate questions like this, because let me tell y'all why. I feel like we as a society tend to push our opinions. Like, more than, I don't know if this is more than any other generation, but it kind of feels like our generation does that. Like, as a generation that is so against labels and being categorized and being put in a box, we put other people in this same fucking boxes that we hate to be in. And I say that because, like, the purpose of my podcast was for me to, like, challenge these, like, stereotypes, or me to challenge these outdated opinions. And this is a perfect question that fits that, because there are some people that say, oh, you need to wait 90 days to have sex with this person. You need to wait 3 dates. You need to wait 5 days, blah, 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 blah. And this is what I say. You could wait 6 dates, sleep with him, and then he decide your pussy wasn't as popping as it should have been, and then he leave your ass then. Or you could do it on the first day and then end up being your man. It does not matter. Like, you should do what feels right. If you go on the first date or the second date or the third date and you decide you don't want to pop your coochie, then don't pop your coochie. Have a conversation about it. That's the thing. We have conversations about shit that nobody asked our opinion about. But when it comes to having a conversation about something like this, nobody wants to do that. Ask the person, like, oh, how long do you wait to have sex with somebody? Like, I don't understand why we don't have open and honest conversations about these things. Who cares if it's on the first date? Who cares if y'all wait until y'all married? Who cares if y'all don't, like, I'm just gonna find this tweet, because I had this tweet saved in my phone, about, it was something similar to that. Oh, couples have dated for 10 years, then got married and divorced after a year. Strangers have fucked on the first date and are now celebrating their 15th anniversary. Some get married after 6 months and are still happily married. There's no formula to this. Do what makes you fucking happy. So shout out to Tina_D75, because that's exactly what I wanted to say. It should not matter. If you want to pop that coochie on night one, do what you got to do. You could also very well decide, like, damn, I went on 3 dates with this man and he got a little boat. Then what? You either gonna drive the little boat or you gonna get off that motherfucker and go find you a big boat. Like, I can't tell y'all how long you should wait. I really don't know. I'm just gonna move on to the next question now. Okay, never mind. I don't even want to answer. It says, does penis size matter? How old are you? Whoever submitted this question to me, how old are you? I think you got a little penis, because why are you asking me that? Does size matter? I haven't heard that question in such a long time. I think probably high school. Y'all need to grow the fuck up. But for the purpose of this podcast, I'm going to answer the question. As a girl who hasn't been on many boats, I've had boats that are too big and I wanted my license revoked. And then there was a boat that, wasn't the proper boat size. I felt like there should have been some more regulations on that boat, so that it wouldn't even be in the ocean. But, I can't even answer this. I'm literally going to jail. But I don't know. And then there's some people where you literally like, this is a semi-truck. So now what? and y'all just looking at each other back and forth, like Diddy and the guy on stage. You know the diff where he's like looking and then the guy's looking, and that's how that happened to me before. I just was like, I couldn't even move. I was paralyzed. So I think I'm going to send this young man a bill for my uterus because I think the next day it fell out. Yeah. I think that saying holds true though. The one that's like, it doesn't matter, like, how does it go? Doesn't matter the size of the boat, just the motion in the ocean. Whatever the fuck y'all be saying. I feel like that's true. I hear stories about people that my friends have like been with that may not be the largest in the chargest, but they still made it work. I don't know. Like I said, y'all, I don't know what I would do. I think I've been getting lucky. Because the last boat I was on was a nice boat. I enjoyed the boat. And so, matter of fact, I'm about to text him right now. I'm just going to send a boat so he knows that was a nice boat. And I would like to get back in it. I just exposed myself. So if you get a text from me with a boat emoji, just don't even reply. Just block my number from them because you don't deserve this. You don't deserve this. And I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that I'm doing this to you right now, but just let me back in the boat. I'm sorry. All right, y'all. Next question is, it just says women hygiene. It doesn't say anything related. So I guess people are just asking about it. I'm very big on hygiene. I think it's because I'm Caribbean, or maybe this is not even a Caribbean thing. It could just be my family. But a lot of Caribbean people I know are very into hygiene. And I don't know, we just care a lot about our bodies. And so ever since I was younger, I was told like to keep my hygiene up. I don't think, even days where I feel like I smell bad, no one has ever told me. If I ever do smell bad, I think I probably cried about it before. It's really sad to say, but a lot of women don't take care of themselves. And I find that to be disgusting. Like, you really just need to work on, like, you need to have deodorant. I feel like you should shave your legs and you should wax very often, regularly, if that. You always need to have on deodorant, even if you're just sitting your ass in the house. Like, you need to have deodorant. And then also you need to watch what you eat because that shit throws your pH balance off. So we just got to figure something out because some of y'all be smelling a little fishy. And I'm like, damn, is this Bikini Bottom or what? Because it's a shame. You think you know somebody. You think you know a guy until he says some shit like, oh, I don't use washcloths. Oh, I only use one rag. And you just be like, what the devil? What the devil? Luckily, I ain't counting no dirty niggas like that. I'm so glad. I think every guy that I've like been interested in or has been interested in me or whatever has been very cleanly. Almost more cleanly than me, which is like damn near impossible because like I said, I be showering hella much. Always got deodorant on, always got spray, got lotion that's scented so you can smell this cocoa butter down, this shea butter drip, shea butter mommy. But yeah, I can't. I'm just not attracted to people that don't have good hygiene and people that just don't have nice teeth. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I know that sounds really shallow, but this is my podcast and it's my opinion. Okay. Next thing. So let's talk about mental health within the Black community, especially amongst Black men and relationship culture and Black relationships. May is Mental Health Month. Okay, so you were rapping a little bit. It sounds like you need to come on this episode and maybe do another episode with me since May is Mental Health Month. So if you wrote this question about mental health in the Black community, please reach out to me. I know it's supposed to be anonymous, but I would love to have someone else to come and speak to me about this topic because it is something that I talk about a lot, but it's just hard for me to get someone that's willing to be recorded to talk about something like this. So I'm not going to answer that one because I do have a really, really long speech and the episode's already getting a little long with all the questions. So like I said, if you wrote this question about mental health in the Black community, please reach out to me. Let's do an episode together. I would love to work with you. Next, what's the number one thing you're most proud of yourself for? I think I'm honestly most proud of myself for the things that I've been through and not being a product of my environment or just allowing my circumstances, like as a kid, like the way that I grew up, to stop me from success. I meet a lot of people who are from where I'm from and they make excuses for why they can't do things, saying my family doesn't have money, or I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not this, I'm not that. And I think they start to bring too much negativity into their situations, and they feel like they'll never be able to succeed because of, the way they grew up. And I think that I've taken those challenges and I've turned them into a success story that I think that I'm very proud of myself. I mean, I still have a ways to go. Like, I'm not where I want to be in my life right now, but I'm better off than I could have been. So I think that's the thing that I'm most proud of, is how far I've gotten, and how I've literally just turned something that a lot of people would use as an excuse for their success into a success story. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. What's something you would tell your younger self? I think my younger self just needed to know that being different was okay. I think that because when I was a kid, I wanted to fit in so bad because I felt that like I would be bullied or I would be lonely because I wasn't like everybody else. So I found myself, especially my middle school years, I found myself changing and starting to become like this bad girl, I want to say, instead of me just being myself and doing what was always right. And so I got into a lot of trouble, like with fighting and getting suspended and just like not being the best kid I could have been, and causing my parents a lot of stress. My mother, my stepdad, just like acting out and behavior wise, just because like I saw everybody else was doing it and I thought that that's something that I should do, or like I wanted to follow the crowd. Thank God I wasn't like that in high school, because I feel like my life would have been a lot different. But yeah, to just not fit in and to like, march to the beat of your own drum, because I feel like it's easier said than done. But if I would have just known like where I am now, like being myself and staying true to who I am, and getting back to that in high school and in college, being myself, and knowing that I would end up here, I would have stopped myself from making a lot of poor decisions as a kid, because things like, there were times where shit literally could have gone left, and it went left for other people that I was hanging around, and I'm not going to get into that, but it could have gotten a lot worse. And because I was such a good kid prior to that, I was okay. But yeah, I think I would definitely remind myself to just be okay with not being in the in crowd, and understanding that that's not your lane. Stay in your lane, girl. Stay in your fucking lane. Period. My number one goal in life is to... What is my number one goal in life? I know it sounds cheesy, but to just be content and to be satisfied. I think a lot of times people forget that, like, you can't really measure your success. I mean, you could, like, if you did it financially, but I just want to be content. I just want to be happy. I want to live a life. I don't give a fuck if I have $2 in my account or if I have 2,000. Like, or 200,000, I should have said, because that sounds better, right? I think my number one goal is to just be happy. Like, I don't know. I thought I would be happy by like having that job that I wanted, working in DC, living on my own, and I'm not. And then there's some people who thought they would be happier if they had more money, and they get more money and they're not happy. So it's not money. It's not professional success. It's not having your own space and being comfortable. Like, you can still have all these things and be unhappy. So I think I just need to find whatever that bliss is and chase it. I don't know. Damn. Whoever asked that question, that was a good ass question. I want to know what your number one goal is in life, since you want to be asking all the hard shit. What's your number one goal in life? To get on my goddamn nerves and to call me out on my own podcast. Yeah, I mean, I think that was kind of like I think that answer was kind of dumb, but, and kind of, well, not dumb, but like cliche, but it's true. I mean, I really do want to live a life that I can look back and be like, wow, I live with no regrets. I'm very happy. So far in life, what ages were your hardest years? College was just hard because not only are you like taking classes with some of your friends and some of the people that you're interacting with, you're also like kind of living with them. So it's like you can't escape. It's literally like you're in like you're trapped in a fishbowl with all these people, and it's like you have to see them all the time. And I don't know. I feel like my college years were really, really hard. But then my post-grad 2 years, because I graduated in 2017. So my post-grad years were the hardest too, because I was so used to like being able to easily get everything I want. Because in college, like if you're not getting a good grade, you can like finesse it. You know, some of y'all know how you can finesse it. You can send that email with the sob story. You can pull up the office hours. But in the real world, you can't do that. When the bill is due, you can't cry to the bill collector. They don't give a fuck. Them lights is getting cut off tonight. Or like if you owe student loans, like I mean, you could cry to them and they're going to be like, oh yeah, you don't have to pay till June. And you be like, oh shit, yeah, because it's May 11th. And then in June, you got to pay double that amount. Like there's no way to, I mean, there's ways to finesse real life, but it's a lot harder. And you can think that you're finessing life, but it's going to come back to you. And that's the thing. Like karma didn't really affect me much in college and high school, middle school, but karma is whipping my ass. Like some of the poor decisions that I've made are coming back to me tenfold. And so I guess in terms of the question, I would have to say it's probably like my post-grad years. And if y'all want, I could do a whole episode about my post-grad depression and all the things that I went through and like my low points and how I came out of that to now being the positive person. I can definitely do that for you guys. And maybe bring a guest who went through something similar. But I definitely think, now that I think about it, those years were definitely the hardest for me, because I was used to getting everything that I want. I was used to being life being a little bit easier. If I didn't care that day, you know how like you don't care that day, so you just don't go to class, you just go to Stamp, get a Chick-fil-A sandwich, and then you go home. I can't do that in real life. I have to show up. And I think that that's the hardest thing, especially when you're not whole mentally, physically, emotionally, and still having to show up and put on that face and being fake and kiki and all of that. That takes a toll on somebody like me, because I told y'all I'm a very authentic person. I'm a very like, this is me. That's it. So I can't hide my emotions as well as I could have by just not showing up to class, or by just not showing up to certain events, or not putting myself in certain situations. At work, you definitely got to do that. And you got to figure out how to do it in a way that is not going to cost you your job. So hopefully that answers your question. I know I took forever. I'll be rapping. How important is sex in a relationship? I'm the wrong person to ask, because when I was in a relationship, it was like, I don't want to say it was extremely important to me, but it was really important. Like I feel so bad, because there would be some days where like I just didn't even want to talk to him. I'm like, take your pants off. Like, I don't know. I think that there are some people who are like, you, at least once a week. I'm not one of those people. I'm like, once a day is if like you got a cold. So I think it's very important, but it shouldn't be the most important thing. I think that's where a lot of people are off with this. Like, y'all don't have no other connection. Like, you guys aren't on the same level emotionally. You guys aren't on the same level mentally. You're not on the same level in anything. It's just you have the physical attraction. And that's something that I need to learn, not in just relationships, just in general. Like, being attracted to people doesn't mean that those are the right people for you. So I guess the roundabout way of saying that it's important, but like, it shouldn't be the most important thing. What's your love language? I answered this actually on another one of my episodes, so that's how I know y'all don't be listening to me. My love language is gifts. That was the top one. And I think it's just because, and I don't mean like buy me $1,000 watch. You could do that. I'm gonna sell a watch and I'm gonna pay my rent. But the point is, my love language is gifts, because I really appreciate small things that show that people are paying attention to me and they want to do something kind and nice for me. Because you can tell me a million times you really like me, or you whatever. Like, I don't care about that words of affirmation stuff, because it's like people will say what they need to say in any situation to manipulate it in their favor. So like, I know sometimes there are people who just like, they'll say stuff or they'll compliment you just because like there's some benefit to them by doing that. And all the other like love languages, like quality time, yeah, it's cool, you can kick it with me, but at some point I need my space. Like, as a woman who works a lot and who does a lot and is constantly busy, if you're just there existing, it's going to get on my nerves. But like, if we actually like plan an outing for us to hang out, and you know, you do something nice for me, or we have a really special conversation, then that is going to show me more. Or like, I think acts of service was high up there too, just because like, if you do something to help me out, I'm gonna appreciate that 10 times more than you being like, I guess, supportive, like with the words. I don't know how to describe it, but none of this other shit matters to me. Like, do something special for me. Show me that you put thought into it. And that will mean a lot more to me than you just telling me some shit. Like, you could tell me you like me, or you could fucking do something nice for me, and I'd be like, oh, you really like me, huh? How do you feel about fucking exes? Ooh, child, the ghetto! Y'all are coming in hot. Let me say this. I have fucked one of my exes, and it was not a good idea looking back. I mean, it was a great time, but it's not a good idea, because at some point, either one of you are going to, like, have feelings or emotions from the relationship that come back up, and someone at some point, hopefully it's not you, but someone at some point is going to be like, okay, so what are we doing? And once somebody says that to me, I'm running. I'm getting the fuck out of there, because at that point, I'm already in too deep. I'm in waist deep, and I need to take my black ass on home. So I would say to you, if you are fucking your exes, I mean, granted, this is a messy summer. We coming up on a Meg Thee Stallion summer, so shit can get real mixy real fast, and I appreciate that. However, don't make a continuous pattern out of that. Like, have a conversation and be like, yeah, we just doing this. And don't catch feelings. Don't catch feelings. If you're going to fuck your exes, you need to be like, you literally, like, don't even let them stay. Like, fuck them and then kick them out. And when I say fuck them, I mean, like, you come first and they leave. Like, like, literally dog them. Because that way, you won't even catch their attraction from the jump. You won't even be re-attracted to them, if that's a word. You would just be like, all right, boom, that's done. You know, get your nut and get the fuck. That's my quote of the summer. Get your nut and get the fuck. Because I be trying to tell y'all, I be having friends who be fucking their exes, and then next do you know, they pop up and they either in a relationship with their ex, or that ex tells them, I don't think we should do this anymore. And then they ass come crying to my doorstep. And I'm not doing it. Because I told y'all this is a stallion summer. And if I'm out here being mixy and doing shit that I want to do and having a good time, and you on the other side crying, I'm not tending to your need. You know the girl that left her friend in China? That's me leaving your ass. Because I'm trying to have a stallion summer. So how do I feel about fucking exes? Don't. And I should have did that in a Bryson Tiller voice, but don't do it, y'all. And if you do it, tell me how it goes. Oh, hell no. This next question, how do you feel about hooking up with someone who's in a relationship? If you ask me this, I'm going to slap the shit out of you when I see you. I'm not hooking up with nobody in a relationship. Here's why. I'm not your concubine. I am not your fucking concubine. The niggas that have girlfriends that slide in my DMs, I will get you shot. Do not do that. Because I feel like, number one, that is completely disrespectful. There are a lot of beautiful women out here. Let me just say that. There are a lot of beautiful, intelligent, sophisticated, top-notch glamour chicks out here that are getting played by the men that they are in relationships with. And let me tell y'all something. Let that nigga go. Okay? That is the theme of the summer, too. I had a lot of themes this episode, but that is the theme of the summer. Let that nigga go, because y'all are too beautiful, and y'all have too much going for y'all to be played by a nigga who's sliding in the DMs of somebody like my goofy ass that's not even going to pay them no mind, that's threatening to get them shot. Y'all don't do it. Don't do it. So to answer your question, I'm not hooking up with nobody in a relationship because I'm not your second choice. Be with your bitch. Treat her right, because that's what you should do. If not, leave her ass alone. This is the thing. I've noticed a lot of men don't even break up with their girlfriends anymore. They just, like, push them to the edge and cheat on them and dog them and just do petty shit to them until the girlfriend, like, wakes up one day and finally decides to leave. If you're in a situation like that where you've caught your man doing some shit, bitch, let me tell you something. I will buy you the shoes to put on to run away from that nigga. Leave him where the fuck he's at. And that's on period. Do not do it to yourself. Because there's someone else that will kiss the ground that you walk on. And you don't deserve that. So if your nigga asks this question, girl, and I find out, I'm telling you. And you better not try to fight me, bitch, because I got hands. But let me tell you something. Don't do that shit this summer. It's getting hot. Wasted getting snatched, bitch. Get in the gym. And do what you got to do. I ain't hooking up with nobody in a relationship. Thank you. Next case. Okay, y'all wildin'. What are your views on threesomes? 2 girls, 1 guy. / 2 guys, 1 girl. Choo-choo. Who the fuck wrote choo-choo? Who the fuck sat on here and wrote choo-choo? Honestly, I think that a lot of people be saying like they would do a threesome just because it sounds cool. If that's not something that you want to do, you don't have to do that, and you shouldn't have to do that for your man or for your woman or whatever, just to like satisfy them and keep them around. I know that that's one conversation because I know there's some famous people who like play into that, like Tiana Taylor and all that. They do that, and that's fine. That's them. They're rich. You and your bitch ain't got no money, so maybe y'all shouldn't do that. But yeah, I mean, I feel like if two girls and a guy want to have a threesome, I feel like that's their business. Do what you got to do. That sounds like a good time. But the train situation, that don't sound fun. I'm not even, like, no cap, as y'all would say. I think I'm good. No, thank you. First of all, have some self-respect. Have some goddamn decency to come in my DMs and to ask me. Like, the first part of the question was fine. 2 girls, 1 guy. That's the more common one. But to ask me, how do I feel about trains? Guys, go read a Bible. Go read the Bible. Next question. Is it a deal breaker for a guy not wanting to use condoms? I would say if you're dating them exclusively, that's a conversation that y'all need to have. I think you need to be mature enough to have that conversation, and you guys need to bring up the fact that, like, y'all need to get tested and you need to share the results with one another since you are dating exclusively. But I don't think that it's smart if you aren't dating someone exclusively to continue that pattern, because it doesn't matter how many people you have slept with. There are some people who only slept with 2 people or only slept with 3 people, and they have chlamydia, they have gonorrhea, they have herpes. And then there are some people that have slept with 50 people, and they've been tested regularly, and they're good. So you guys need to start having adult conversations about sex. And you need to start having conversations with your partners or with the people that you're dating about these things. Because we can have adult conversations about anything else, but when it comes to a topic like sex, everybody want to get quiet. No, people are dying from this shit, and y'all need to start talking about it. How long should you stay in the talking phase before pulling the plug? Everybody's different. For me, I'm at a point in my life where I'm not trying to date anyone exclusively, and I think that I've made that pretty clear. And if you aren't clear about that, here's me clearing it up. I'm not looking for a relationship. I'm not looking to date anyone exclusively. So, I don't know. I think if you're talking to, quote unquote, talking to someone and they are dragging it along and it's been like maybe a year and y'all haven't decided what you're going to do, if you haven't had a conversation up to that point being like, all right, we're both just filling each other out, then that's one thing. But I don't know if I could, quote unquote, talk to someone for a year and not want anything eventually. But I don't know, because like I said, I've never been in that situation, because I just started to get to a point where I'm like, I'm not dating, especially after my last relationship, that I'm not dating anyone exclusively. But what I will say, how you can know if the person's serious about you, and I found this on a tweet. It was talking about like the best dating advice they've ever received, and it literally said, if the person doesn't like you, you'll be very confused by every one of their actions, but if they do like you, you'll know. And if you're a woman and you're asking this, I always tell women are pretty clear about making it known what they want, but men are not. And so if you're a woman and you're asking me this, I feel like men go after what they want full force. Like, men are literally hunters. Like, if they want you, they're going to come and get you, and they're not going to, like, nothing's going to stop them. And I truly believe that. But if they don't like you, they don't want to hurt your feelings, so they're not going to be direct with it. They're not going to it's just not going to make you feel confident at the end of the day. So if you ever have to question like someone's affection for you, I'm going to tell you this 9 times out of 10, it's because they don't have an affinity for you. They're not really interested in you like that, and they don't know how to tell you, and they don't know how to say it without hurting your feelings. And that's something that I have learned, that if someone's actions are just like sending you mixed signals, that they're doing that shit on purpose. They're meaning to, and I don't care what nobody say, they're meaning to send you those mixed signals because they're still figuring it out for themselves, and they're not sure that they like you. I don't want nobody that's not sure they like me. I want somebody that's sure as hell that could be like, Lauren, you are the Red Lobster biscuit that I've been waiting for. You are the biggest Cinnabon, the juiciest one, the one with the most icing. And when I warm you up, I'm ready to eat. So if you're in a talking phase for way too long, and you got to decide what's too long. For some people, 3 months is too long. I ain't one of those people. For some people, 6 months is too long. I ain't one of those people. For a year, I'm like, all right, now you playing. But at some point, as a woman, you feel it, trust your gut. If your gut is telling you that it's been 8 months and he ain't taking you seriously, bitch, pack your bags. Like I said, I'm about to start buying bitches the shoes to run away from these niggas. So I will buy you the shoes so you can get the fuck out of there. Have you ever had a one night stand? What's your opinion on them? I haven't, technically. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I feel like you just need to protect yourself and just, be very careful. If you're gonna have it, bitch, pop that pussy, okay? Pop that pussy. Do what you gotta do. Like, I'm not, everybody who knows me and, like, knows me closely knows that I'm not judgmental at all when it comes to stuff. Like, I have friends from all types of backgrounds, and I do not judge them, because what you do at the end of the day is your business. Just as long as you're protecting yourself, just as long as you're being safe, and as long as you aren't putting yourself in harm's way, I'm fine. This is the time of our lives for us to be reckless, but when it comes to your health in situations like that, be careful. Like, keep a blade on you. If you're pulling up to his house for the first time and you don't know him, be ready to slice his ass. You never know what situation you may be in. Share your location with somebody. If he's pulling up to your spot, bitch, you better keep something close by just in case you might have to shank his ass. You never know. So, if you're going to have a one-night stand, just be careful, y'all. And if you have one, tell me about it, because I love to hear one-night stand stories. I think those shits are funny as hell. Like, some of the stuff that people would just be doing, like, oh, I should do one where people submit their wild-ass sex stories. Oh, my God. And I could read them on air, y'all. Oh, I just found my niche. I just found my judge. Yes. Okay, y'all. Next episode, send me your crazy sex stories. It's time. All right, the next question. I only got one more after this. How have you maintained your long-term friendships? So I have friends. My oldest friend I call her my god sister. We've been friends since I was like 12 or 13 years old. And the friendship with her is maintained just because I think we have an understanding. We're literally like sisters. Like, we'll fight physically, we'll argue, and all kinds of stuff like that. But I think at the end of the day, you have to have a deep understanding of, like, what are her basic needs? I know that she needs to feel appreciated by me. She needs me to treat her with respect. We love each other. Like, I think you have to have an understanding with people that you know what's going to trigger them, and you don't do those things, especially in an argument, especially when you're not seeing eye to eye, And I think a lot of times people have trouble maintaining friendships. And I think that's also a red flag. If you see a man or a woman that doesn't have a lot of friends, close friends, that's a sign that they're pushing those people away, and that it's them. I don't care what people say. Yeah, you could be a loner. Yeah, you could be weird, whatever, but it's you. It's you, because I have a lot of long-term friendships. I have friends for 6 years. I have friends, like I said, her and I have been friends since we were 12 years old, because I check up on people. I give people the shirt off my back. I treat them with respect. I make sure that they're okay, make sure they need anything. If they're in town, they can stay with me. Like, I go above and beyond for my friends, and I treat my friends like family, and that's how I maintain those friendships. And it's very hard because a lot of people, you grow out of friendships. But I think the most important thing is that I'm a communicator. If I have an issue with you, I'm going to tell you. And I don't care if you get mad at me. I don't care if you don't talk to me for 3 days. I don't care. I'm going to call you out on your bullshit, and I'm going to tell you, hey, what you're doing is not okay because blah, 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 blah. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk through it. We're going to hug it out. I'm going to tell you I love you. And then tomorrow I'm going to ask you what you're doing and if you want to go to brunch. That's just how I maintain my friendships, by being open, honest, trustworthy, loyal, doing what I can for them. Knowing that love languages is very important too. It's not just for your relationships, it's for your friends too. And just not being a pushover, because I cater to people's needs without being a pushover. And I've learned that, to how to balance that duality of, like, I care about you, I want to be there for you, but also you're not going to walk all over me. So if you need more tips with that, hit me up. I got you. And last question, you are Liddy at work and Liddy on the weekends. How do you maintain a work-life balance? That's actually funny because I don't have a work-life balance at all. I'm lit at work just because I believe that I should be myself no matter where I am. Granted, there's a level of professionalism that comes in with work, and there's some people that I can't be myself around, or like can't joke and kiki with because of like their professional status. But yeah, since I do work weekends, like, I have to work on my work-life balance a lot more because I have Thursday, Friday off. I mean, Thirsty Thursday, Fridays be lit, so I guess that's good. But, like, still having to work the weekends, I gotta try to balance my time a little bit better and be a little bit more productive on my off days, because if not, the weekend's already here. So it's just weird. And then on the weekends, I'm not really lit. It's like certain days I have to plan out in advance. That's how I balance it. I plan out in advance. So if I know that on May 12th, we are going to brunch, like I'm going to write that in my calendar. I'm going to take off. If I can't take off, I'm going to try to switch. Like I really try to maintain that balance. But actually, I have no social life. Like I really don't. I don't really be going anywhere unless it's like a birthday or unless it's a major event. So I don't know where y'all got this idea that I'm lit at work and lit on the weekends. Whoever said this, get off my Instagram and actually have a conversation with me, because there's no fucking way y'all think I'm lit. I'd be dying. I literally, like, I be fucking up my life so bad that y'all have no idea. Y'all have no idea the shit that I be dealing with. It's like, someone call the cops on me immediately. Anyway, y'all, so that was all the questions. Thank you guys so much for participating. This was a really funny ass episode, and I feel like once I edit it together, it's gonna be all over the place. But thank y'all for participating. I love y'all. Thank you for sticking out with me, even though I literally went ghost on y'all for 2 weeks. It'd be like that. That's on my hoes. It'd be like that. It's like, no. But I will see you guys next week. If you have any more questions, if you want to do another episode like this, hit me up. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Love y'all. I'll see y'all next week. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Like, comment, subscribe. Bye.